Heather K. Margolis with Spark Your Channel and Channel Maven. Today on our Channel Maven podcast, my friend and yours, Sean Lardo, VP of Partner Development at OITVOIP. Sean, thanks for joining.
Heather, thank you very much for having me. It's a great day today, let me tell you. Seriously.
Anyone who knows you is like, how's Sean going to keep it together for this?
I got it. We're good. I woosa before the call.
You're embracing your inner Fred Rogers, I see on your, yeah.
I am. Dude, I mean.
Do you need to change your shoes or put on a cardigan? No, we don't have time for this. We don't have time. Come back.
I'm simply saying I don't have it. I'm sorry.
All right. I have a friend here if you need moral support.
Don't do it. Yes. I thought you were bringing other friends out. There's no need to. Yes. And meet our friend Cloudy McCloudy.
Cloudy McCloudy. Yes. So, our audience members are a mix of partners and IT and telecom vendors.
Yes.
As funny as you are, and as much as I love making fun of you on the regular, you are very good at recruiting partners and building relationships with partners and expanding your partner network. So I want to talk today about building your partner ecosystem. And then also, after a while there, sometimes the 80-20 rules come into place where 20% of your partners are driving 80% of your revenue, but you keep everyone so engaged. So enough giving you props. I'm sure Keith is watching this going, oh my gosh, what's she doing? Stop saying nice things.
No, please continue. Please continue. I'll wait. I just take, I got
Hold on.
Take your time.
Hold on. So let's talk about how you create a healthy partner ecosystem. And then I have some follow-up questions for you, obviously.
Okay. So ready? Thank you first for all those compliments, because I know that'll be the last of them. And I know I'll just pay tenfold over on the other side. So
never again.
I know, but I'll take it while I can get it. Okay. As a father of 4 girls, I take as much love as I can when I can, because 20 minutes later, they hate me for about a good month or a year. So yeah, I take it while I can. So, okay. So let's start with the 80-20 rule, right? Is that really true though? 80-20, because I think it's every company I've ever experienced, and I've been in this space for a long time of channel enablement. So I worked with many vendors and partners, and I saw averages of 7 to 12% really that are bringing in the real revenue. You have those floaters of the difference that make that 20%, and they bring a deal in, maybe once a quarter or once a year, depending on what the sales cycle was of whatever it is you sell, right? So yeah, the percentage is very low on who really contributes to your yearly revenue, for sure.
Right.
So I can't take all the credit for how we do it, because my team is very good. One thing we focused on, and it starts with the core of the company, and it's something that I was blessed, even with Ray himself, the way he sees things is, he is very much a giver when it comes to the community. And that's the first thing, is it's a give, right? But the thing we had to focus on, we had to regroup still and make sure our staff is on the same page and live the same methodology. And the methodology is we're human first. Yeah, I make jokes when I act silly, of course, right? But that's because, I'm a dad and I'm a grandfather, so I really don't care. I want to just enjoy myself. And I realize I can't change who I am now. My character is already established. This is over. This is going to be me the rest of my life. And it'll probably only get worse. I mean, ask my kids. But the way we maintain engagement is, well, first, again, like I said, focused on our own internal staff. We make sure people understand what their job is. We put aces in their places. And one of our core missions in life was to be friends. Our tagline is welcome to the family. Every single partner.
Yeah, you build relationships with these partners. It's not like you have a goal of collecting 500 or 1,000 partners and you go do that. No. You make sure that your partners truly fit within your ecosystem. And Absolutely. That might be something that's specific to OITVOIP, but building relationships isn't.
Correct. No, agreed. And actually, let's talk on both of those. We vet our partners, okay? Again, because of my history, I've seen very large companies just sign on a whole plethora of partners. They go to a conference, They get 1,000 leads, they sign up 600 partners. Okay, now that's why your 80-20 rule exists. That's why it's really like 95-5 probably, you know, because you signed on a bunch of people. That's not fair. It's not fair to your employees internally. It's not fair to the partners. So that's the first thing is, you know, we vet our partners. We make sure they, like my conversations with them are the same as my conversations with you. So yes, there is cussing involved and there's a lot of bluntness, and it's just as a matter of fact, because, and this is also leads to relationship building too. You know, every one of my partners I'm engaged with on multiple medias. We have a private Discord channel. I talk to them there. I'm on Facebook regularly. I'm on LinkedIn. I stay on, and so because I can't call everybody all the time, it's impossible. But I make them all part of groups. So if I know that you're a partner of ours, take away the business side of it. If I know you like football, right? And hey, we're having a fantasy league. Do you want to be involved? And I put that on social media and I tag the person or several of them. Now they're engaging with me as a friend too. And how many times do you sit there with colleagues or clients that you're having a drink and they mention something else? They mentioned some sort of business thing that was going on, and you end up having business talk regardless.
Right.
So,
well, and I think if we're doing this on a larger level, like if I'm a channel account manager at Cisco,
yes,
or a huge company, I can do that as the channel account manager. I'm not managing all 20,000 of those partners. Correct. I have my core team. So I think there's like, the people who are probably watching this are probably not the individual that's doing that, but you can disseminate that out to your team. You
Which
can,
is exactly
if you manage all the channel account managers, you can say, maybe not with the swearing, but be yourself, build relationships. I know for you and for me, it's very hard not to swear when you're passionate about something.
I think I'm doing really well right now. We haven't said one swear word yet.
So we're doing great. Oh yes. Yeah. I cleaned up I have a swear jar in my office now. So, you know,
it should be like a bucket, but anyway,
I empty it every week and go buy coffee.
So you reward yourself with what you did. That's amazing.
I don't drink the coffee. I buy it for other people.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice of you. So no, you're right. So let's talk about the dissemination of this, right? So you've met Matt Connolly that works for me. Great guy. Right? He's 31 years old. Matt has a girlfriend. She's amazing. But he has no children. He's 31 and somehow he has dad jokes. Okay. And he's had them for the past like 7 years. So it's not like he turned 30 or something. No, 7 years at least. He's been in my life since he was 23, actually. So 8 years now, I've heard dad jokes. He also has to drink coffee at certain times of the day. He has I bought it like.
He's an old soul.
No, he's like old, like ancient soul, like old, like he has back problems already. Okay. So he is one of our account managers. So to your point, I don't know all of our partners. We have a lot, right? I mean, I met them at first maybe. And that's one thing is I usually meet all of our partners coming in to determine where they should be. But, you know, at that point, it's like, here's Matt. And Matt has a relationship with that group. Now I have other people in our orders team. I have several people that work with us that all work with certain partners. And I'm glad they do that because they have relationships because I can't sustain that.
Right.
You know, but I do remember people, this is the one big thing you want to talk about building a relationship. You should know something personal about people, not TMI personal, but personal, like, oh, you have a kid that plays baseball. That's awesome. Yeah. You know, or what you should know at least one thing about every one of them. And a lot of times I forget the person's name of somebody I haven't dealt with in a year. But if they say, and if it's Matt that's working with me, he says, hey, Sean, so-and-so wants to talk to you. I'm like, well, who is that? He knows. He'll say, you know, the guy that had this. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah. How's he been? And then when he gets on, I'm like, hey, how was your son? I know he was going off to college. I remember that stuff. And I also note that stuff too. I use Salesforce, by the way, guys. And in Salesforce, they have notes. It's crazy. I
yes. I learned really early on, one of my family members owned a business and I would hear them on the phone and the assistant would get on the phone and they would make small talk with the assistant. And they said to me, A, that's the gatekeeper, and B, people like doing business with people they like. And if you remember that stuff, it goes really far. And I think the fact that you've imparted that in your team as well. So your team is doing those things. They know that that's how you operate. They know that you need those cues to be able to have a meaningful relationship with their partners as well. That's huge. So what are your partners, as you're building out your channel, what are your partners' expectations of you and your team, and what's important to them?
That's a lot. So they expect continuously great jokes. No, they expect transparency from us first off. They expect
Yeah.
proper expectations to be set and to be met. They know that we both are in this together. This is a partnership before it's anything else.
Right.
Yeah, you're cool. I'll high five you all day long, but I'm not going to allocate time in a business side of things if you're not also committing in time to it as well.
Right.
So the expectations are set. One thing we focused on first off on our side, the onus falls on us first. One thing you know from your experience in your past is that one of the main issues you have with partners and vendors is helping partners get set up and moving.
Right.
I mean, like legitimately, like
if it takes 6 months to get them selling, they're not going to do it.
It makes zero sense. It makes zero sense. First off, they like you, they'll high five you too, but now you've not done your part. So now they're not investing. So we focus heavily on the velocity of working with them. We set the expectation up front, like, hey, you're going to do business, you're going to be billing, you're going to be charging or whatever you want to call it or selling within 30 days, maybe even sooner. For our channel partners, it's within 48 hours. We already have a process. You know, if I just met you today, and you're like, I want to be a channel partner and I have an opportunity I'm working on. And I ask these questions like, how soon do you need to be doing this stuff? Because if you're like in 6 months, okay, well then let's just be friends until then. You know, you're not going to, let's not lie to each other. I'm not going to call you every week. I'm not going to bother you. I don't have time for that. And neither do you. And you'll be annoyed with me. But here, I'll send you my social post stuff. I'll send you my link, my invitations, everything else. You can see what we're doing and let's just schedule a call for then, right? No big deal. If you say though, but usually a lot of the guys that talk to us, a lot of men and women talk, they're like, hey, we have things going on in the next 45 days.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's my job to tell you what you should be doing to make this happen because your reputation's on the line with your customer. Even though you're reselling us, you're still the one that's referring us. So it's serious. So, you know, we've made our process, we can take somebody from meeting them on day one, determine they're a good fit, determine what program they go into, and then putting this all together, have them sign the agreement, and be on the phone with the account manager, like somebody like Matt, and actually doing a quote request form, getting the quote out, and getting it signed within 48 hours.
For sure.
Now you like me. You made money.
Right. Well, they liked you, but now they love you because they made money.
Now they have a loyalty. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and so I'm going to give you one more compliment, but Keith, I swear this is the last one. You did this in the right order, right? You had a handful of really great partners. You went out and put this enablement process in place instead of, there are a lot of companies that I talk to that go out and recruit 2,000 partners and they have no onboarding process and they have no enablement materials and they have no platform. You did all those things first. And so I need to give a little credit to Ray, right? Like he had the vision of, I understand why we're spending money on this before we actually have the revenue coming in, because if a partner has a bad experience in the beginning, they're done. That's it. Like you can't enable me. You can't onboard me. I'm out. I can sell 20 different things instead of you.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Yes, I will give kudos to Ray on the fact that he took a big chance and a big investment. He absolutely did, because like he knew what he had to do. He knew he wanted to scale. We had to do it right. We had a lot of great partners that were doing okay. They were doing fine. They were doing great actually. But we wanted to do more, and plus our partners like really like us. Like if you haven't seen, I mean, again, go on the MSP subreddit and check out OIT Ray is great. Go into Discord, go into MSP Geek, go into IT Pool Party, go on Facebook. You'll see, I mean, they're fans of ours, we're fans of theirs. That's one of the biggest things, is we're fans of each other. It's mutual. But to your point though, people get disinterested quick if they don't do something. There's no kind of achievement. We know that. It's kind of like working out. I watched that Bowflex commercial. I'm like, I could do that. Let's go spend 10 grand on Bowflex, because that skinny dude turned into like a beefcake. I'm like, no, I can't. That doesn't work that way. That commercial is only 3 minutes long. That's not how that works. I can't get there in 3 minutes. I tried. I ran really hard for 3 minutes and I was exhausted. My knees hurt, my back hurt, and I didn't lose any weight. So
that's because you're old.
Whoa. Slow down. See, so much for the compliments. The compliments are over.
No, it's over. It's over.
But if you set the right expectations together, even when we have a bad experience with somebody, which happens very few and far between, usually it's not a bad experience at large. It's not an ending relationship conversation, but it's like, hey, we just can't work together.
Right.
You won't see people complain about it because we didn't BS them. We didn't offer pie in the sky. You know, we put the onus on them. Hey, we're doing all this. and we're going to bust our butts for you. This is all done, but you must do this. Do you understand?
Right.
It is that upfront contract and that agreement. That is the only way this works. It's the same as marriage. When you say your vows are from each other, not from one to the other. It's not like I gave my vows. What about you? I'm not going to do that now. No, you both said them. Like, you know, that's the deal, you know? So
Totally.
I think far too often when you watch companies grow too fast, and to your, like what you said before about add a bunch of partners on, when they add a lot of partners, they also add a lot of employees on. Right. They don't even enable their employees the right way too. So if you didn't even set your own internal employee up for success, how do you expect to set a partner up for success?
Well, and I think the thing that's really important that you're saying, if I could paraphrase, is—
Please paraphrase. I love paraphrasing.
I think you set your expectations with your employees so that when something goes wrong, it's not, oh, Sean set me up for failure. This didn't work out. And when you set your partners up for success and build the relationship with them, when something goes wrong, you have an interruption in service or something, the partners aren't angry at you. They understand that sometimes things happen and there needs to be, it's not them against you. It's both of you against the problem. Yes. And I think a lot of times when companies set themselves up for failure, one, they don't understand the partner's business well enough. So maybe they create, they make the partners jump through hoops, or they create elements of a program that don't benefit the partner's business in the long run or short terms. Absolutely. And that's when immediately the partner's like, oh, I'm doing business with this company because it's what my customer wants, or, they're the only game in town, but man, do I really hate working with them.
Agreed. No, you're absolutely right. But all the above. And let's think about this. And you've been here long enough to see it too, because you're not that young either. But when you look at exactly what's happened over the years, companies that offer huge incentives typically don't know who you are anyway. The incentive is to buy your love for that moment. And what you end up seeing is not loyal partners. How many partners I know that that work with the same type of vendor but 3 different companies that provide all the same stuff? And why do they do that? Because who's going to give the best spiff?
Right.
Okay. Now, if you're talking about spiffs, you haven't talked about the long game for them, what their real success looks like. Like, I have a genuine interest in my partners and their growth as a business. I want them to be successful. And I ask them, once you are, I expect really good gifts for Christmas, like scotch and cigars. I tell them, it's like, this is, and I actually send them a list. Like, here's my wish list, guys. That's it.
I feel like, though, and this is a whole other webinar topic, right? Like, when you think about incentives, having incentives that reward a behavior or, a path of behaviors, so that the partners start posting social content more, the partners start doing demand gen more. But yeah, like, just having a carrot at the end, like, once you hit revenue, you'll get an incentive.
There's a drastic difference on those. Think about what you said there. You're absolutely right. Reward good behavior. Okay. Right. Not one good incident, but a good disciplined behavior of it. Because when you see all of a sudden at the end of the quarter, we're giving 10% more for everything, you already know it's out there for everybody. So think about this. Now, you're the partner that's always done well for this company. You've always brought business in, but you don't happen to have a deal right now. So you don't get any of that.
You're not getting that.
How fair is that to me that I consistently produce for your company quarter over quarter, month over month, but now Joe Schmo happens to have some great deals, doesn't even talk to you ever, never brings a deal, has done in 2 years, just made an additional 10 or 20% off of this.
Right.
Where's the loyalty? Yeah. Now, to your point, yes, a good loyalty program is important, I think. I think that you should reward your people, just like you should reward your internal employees. You're really good. And you can look on social media and look at all of our partners that speak for me. I love those guys. I send them cards.
Well, and we've been on, people on our team have been on Tech Bar. They've watched a bunch of your different webinars. It's clear that you know these people and know them well, and you're out there interacting, right? So you and I are guests sometimes on Everything MSP's webinar. And and they know you as if you're one of their peers, and that's super important as well.
I
So
agree.
as we wrap this up, what's your sort of big words of wisdom, regardless of size of the IT or tech company or telecom company? What can they be doing better at a high level with their partners?
Actually, I think it's more of an internal level first. I think it's just be genuine, be sincere, be empathetic, and have the greater good in mind for the other people first, which is like
And
projects, right? So that's
right.
purpose.
But it's also like something for life that regardless of what industry you're in, you should be doing that anyway.
I would agree. And once you start living by those things, it opens up your eyes to start thinking about the differences. Again, it's not a one size fits all. Granted, 60% of things you do will apply to everybody. Maybe 90% will apply to everybody. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is, if you don't have the greater good in mind for other people, and always think they have good intent with you as well, because it'll put you in a different perspective in trying to help. If you try to help everybody, you become successful. I mean, I am case in point. I just help everybody else. I've been very lucky. I have the ability to actually help people. Thank God. It's very fulfilling for me internally,
Right.
but it's made me successful. So I can't
That's
really
awesome.
argue that. But I meet great people like Heather.
Wait, did I just get a compliment?
Yes,
I
you
love
got a
it.
compliment. I get to hang out with people like you, amazing, extraordinary people like you. I mean, fantastic. Even people that I trust and respect, especially at their age. No, actually, yes. Very
As long
fortunate.
and I think as long as you impart that in your team and your partners, everyone will be successful. So Sean Lardo, thank you so much for joining our little podcast. If people want to get in touch with you, where can they find you?
Everywhere. Billboards, the music awards. No, I mean, I'm on LinkedIn, Sean Lardo. I'm on Facebook, Sean Lardo. Is shocking. And also you can jump onto OIT.co. If you want to talk to me, you can schedule. I have my link on there.
Awesome.
Or schedule time for partners. And even if you want to call and talk about nothing important, I'm cool with that too for a few minutes, and then we got to talk about something important. But like 10 minutes of nonsense talk, sounds good.
I can honestly say that is true. That for the first 10 minutes, it's nonsense talk, and then there's meat in the conversation. Awesome. Thanks for joining. And thank you all for tuning in. If you want to find us, we are on LinkedIn, both Spark Your Channel and Channel Maven, or on Twitter. And I obviously am on LinkedIn and everywhere else, or Heather at sparkyourchannel.com.